Is it alright if I talk about Teen Wolf? Because I'm gonna talk about Teen Wolf. So guys, I don't think I ever pictured myself doing a thoughts on video for Teen Wolf, especially if you went back and told me that I was gonna be doing this like season 1 of Teen Wolf. I'd be like, am I seriously gonna be doing a thoughts on video about that show with that dude who's a wolf who's trying to chase after that chick? But dude, Teen Wolf has evolved like so much from the beginning season. It's crazy. It's almost like a different show. But I absolutely love it. They incorporate so much lore into it, and it's great. So yeah, I want to talk about it, especially with the developments that's all coming up this season. It's getting to be really, really good. So, is it alright if I talk about it? I hope so, because we're going to do it. So first of all, Scott's beta, Liam, and his anger issues. So, I mean, turns out the initials for his disorder spell out I.E.D. So he's literally an I.E.D. And that's the title of the title of this episode is I.E.D. And his kid's got some anger issues. And so it was funny to me when he and Scott were trying to calm the kid down in the shower, but put him in the cold shower. And he's like, "Oh, great! Look what you did! You gave superpowers to a walking time bomb." And it's funny because the one person who could probably deal with this kid is probably Scott. And the one thing that I thought was really, really cool about this episode was the interaction between Scott and between Derek. Because, I mean, Derek smiled. The world ended. I mean, because he's sitting there, he's just like, you're gonna be good at this. You're gonna be good at, raising your werewolf son, basically. And so, I mean, I liked that little moment they had where, Scott's taking a little bit of time out to kind of coach Liam on his anger and stuff. And it was really cute. It was adorable. That's weird. But I really liked seeing that, especially seeing the way that Scott and Derek's relationship has evolved since the first season. Because first season, Teen Wolf, Scott pretty much, hated him for most of season 1 and a lot of season 2. Season 3, he kind of didn't trust him most of the time. And now it's evolved into this kind of thing where they've finally got that kind of brotherhood relationship. And I really like it. He's kind of mentoring Scott, but it also kind of worries me a little bit. Because he said some similar things, not about him having a beta last season, obviously. But he said some similar things to him about, passing on the torch of Protector of Beacon Hills or whatever. And that season, that made me think, oh my gosh, Derek's going to die this season. I thought Derek was going to die in season 3B. Thank God he didn't. But the way he's talking is just he's building up to his death, is what it seems like. But now that they've showed it in the trailer, I'm not sure that he's going to die. That's a conversation for a completely different time anyway. But yeah, but the whole thing with Liam, I mean, I don't know how I feel about Liam yet. I like where the relationship between him and Scott is going, so we'll see how it goes from there. But it just seems like, honestly to me, it feels like they've shoved a lot of characters into this season, and I'm not sure how in the world I feel about it. With the introduction of all of these freshmen, I don't know. I keep forgetting a lot of their names too. Let's see. I was trying to remember them before I did this. There's Violet, Garrett, Mason, Liam, Brett, and friends. I don't know why. Well, I mean, I guess I understand why they tried to shove so many people in there. It seemed really strange that they tried to focus on a lot of them, but it may be just me. It may be something that they're trying to build up to later on in the season, and we're just not at that point yet, but, we'll see. There's also a moment between Derek and Chris Argent, which is another thing that's an evolution from the past seasons. I mean, Chris Argent, all he wanted was werewolves dead in the first season, and then, especially Derek. But now seeing the two of them kind of, collaborating together, it's really cool. I like the fact that the parents are a lot more involved as of last season, really. I really like that, especially with Styles' dad. But seeing Derek and Chris Argent together was really, really cool. I liked that, and they were going down there and investigating. But one thing that kind of stuck out, that was interesting, was the fact that Derek is now beginning to lose his werewolf powers. In an earlier episode, it was shown that when he turned back into an adult, he lost the blue color of his eyes, which he got because he took the life of an innocent. But apparently it's not just his eyes. He's lost his eyesight, and apparently, if you watch the preview for the next episode, it seems that he's lost his werewolf strength, too. So that's a bit depressing. I'm wondering if this is going to be something that's progressing, or if he's going to get his powers back, or if he's going to be stuck human, or what the heck's going on there. But it seems like we're not going to figure that out yet. And I really just want to know what it is that happened to him. Like, what did Kate do to him that A, regressed him back to a 15-year-old, and B, what's making him lose his powers? So I guess we're not going to find that out immediately, but I'd like to know some of that. Speaking of things I'd like to know, Banshees. How the heck did they use their power? I mean, it's so confusing. I mean, I really feel for Lydia, because honestly, the audience is pretty much just as confused as she is where this is concerned. All she does is just hear random voices when they decide to speak to her, it seems like. And she doesn't know how to trigger it. And I thought that was really interesting. The way she acts, the way that the actress Holland Roden does it, she's just really good. Because she starts to have this, like, really unhinged from reality look when she starts to try and trigger her powers. And she's just, like, sitting there at that record, and she's just, like, trying to get her powers to trigger, and she doesn't know how to do it. And that was one thing that was really, really well displayed. But it was also really nice to see Meredith again. Meredith being the one from Eichen House, the Banshee from Eichen House. And Lydia trying to use old methods to try and re-trigger her Banshee powers too. And then Meredith's just not having any of that. And also the funny thing with Deputy Parrish still thinking that Lydia is a psychic. I thought that was kind of funny. Banshees everywhere. I really hope that she can find some help with their powers eventually. Because, I mean, I don't know if Meredith knows how to trigger it, but she seemed to come up with it, like, almost immediately after Deputy Parrish offered, you know, just a little bit of encouragement and help. And she just, like, came up with the number like that. So I don't know if, because Meredith is completely unhinged from reality, that she knows how to trigger it, or if she just doesn't have all this extra stuff distracting her like Lydia does. I don't know. But hopefully we will find out, because, I mean, for real, she's got to learn how to fix this stuff, man. And also, with Sheriff Stilinski, I love him. I love his reaction, especially the Supernatural, because he's so done with it. He's done. He's just like, I mean, back in, I think, the beginning of season 3, he's just, like, going over all his cases and trying to figure out if they had anything to do with the Supernatural. Now he's just done. He's like, no, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of all y'all banshees, y'all fairies, werewolves, whatever the heck y'all are. I'm done with all of y'all. And I just thought that was so funny, because instead of, you know, being, like, enlightened about all of these murders, he's just like, are you serious right now? Can we not just have normal murders like normal people do? Why can't we have nice things? And that's basically just the way he is throughout this entire season so far. All 5 episodes that we've seen that he's been in, he's just been absolutely hilarious. He's just like, it's funny. Also, Malia is starting to gain some perception of human skills. Like, when she and Lydia were talking in the hallway, and Lydia's just like, I just hear voices in my head. And then Malia's looking around like, well, that was an awkward thing to say. It's interesting to me that she acknowledged the fact that that was an awkward thing to say. That it's just something that really interested me. But also, too, is she seems to be displaying, I'm not sure if it's just me, but she seems to be displaying more concern with other people outside of herself and Styles. Because, I mean, first episode, she's just like, yeah, forget everybody else. Y'all can all die. Because I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Because I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about Malia at first. And she's grown on me now, so I'm okay with her. For now. Also, the other beta that's on the other team, Brett, the one from, was it Devonford? One of those places, from Liam's old school. Was I the only one who thought it was just really obvious that he was the one that was attacked by, what's his name, Garrett, on the field? Where they also found out about these 2 young assassins quite early on, which is interesting to me. 5 episodes in, they've already found out, oh yeah, these two are the assassins that have been trying to kill everybody. And him and his poison lacrosse stick, the wolfsbane laced lacrosse stick. He stabbed the kid, and they thought that he was going for Liam, but no, he was going for Brett. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess that kid's a werewolf. And with that, I would also like to just give out the award for most idiotic character on Teen Wolf to Violet, the dumbest kid assassin to ever live. May you sleep in pieces. I mean, I know she's not dead right now, but still, she's so stupid. She's just so dumb. Okay? I mean, I know she's got, like, dollar signs in her eyes and all that other crap, but no, she's so stupid. A, why in the world are you all mixing, like, this wolfsbane-y stuff right there in a chemistry lab during passing period in the middle of an open classroom where there's a door, where there's a window right there where you can see straight in to see what in the world y'all are doing, and y'all pull out a blade, and y'all drop out some chemicals on a blade, and nobody else sees it. But I understand that nobody else saw it, but still, that's so stupid. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? That's just dumb. It makes no sense. And then she doesn't even listen to reason with the guy, what's his name? Garrett, I keep forgetting his name, I'm sorry. But he's the only one who's got some sense. He's like, okay, we are not going after Scott McCall. Okay, he went up against the pack alphas, and he was the last one to tell the tale. The last one that lived through that, okay? So we gonna just leave him alone. And no, she's like, no, let's go after him, because he's like $25 million. What in the world is a 14-year-old going to do with $25 million anyway? Buy all the Justin Bieber CDs? I don't even think so. She needs to calm down. But no, she's just so stupid. And then she tries to go out. Here's my question, too. This kid, this beta that they went after, that, what's his name, stabbed, she didn't even kill him. She brought out her thermo wire necklace thing, and she just goes like, shh, you're worth a lot of money, Brett. And then she doesn't even kill him. She could have for real. She could have baited Scott in there any other way. She could have just killed him and Scott would have come in there anyway. But why didn't she kill him? She could have at least made the $1 million. And then at the end she could have made $26 million if she actually did manage to kill Scott. But no, she just decided, oh, I'm just going to leave him to be alive. I don't know why. I'm just going to make him be alive. No, it's so dumb. And then she comes up, she's like, I got you. I got an alpha. And then Scott just turns around like, dude, what you doing? What up with this jewelry? What you doing with this? Oh, you got this from Claire's, didn't you? You got this from Claire's. I'm like, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? No, put it back. Stop doing everything that you do it. And then I was so happy when Scott just put her in her place. And he's just like, nah, dude, you better stop, bro. And then he just knocks her out. And that's it. That's it. She done. And I think after that, since Styles called his dad, I guess she's going to jail now. Because she's killed, like, lots of people. So, yeah. She got on my nerves since the very first time I saw her. She doesn't even cover her tracks. She just leaves all the beheaded heads rolling around on the ground as soon as she leaves. And the fact that she cuts them all with the thermo cut wire. She don't cover nothing up. I mean, they are so sloppy. They are the worst assassins ever. And this other dude, I mean, Garrett is a little more careful, but still, the fact that he killed her with the lacrosse stick and left the little octagonal lacrosse stick dots in her chest, no. You people are sloppy. You deserve to be caught. You stay in school. But anyways, speaking of assassins, Lydia got the cipher code, the cipher key for the next part of the Deadpool, the hit list of all the supernatural creatures in Beacon Hills, the first key being Allison, the next one being Aiden. And Aiden unlocked all these other ones, which on the list was included Kate Argent, obviously, and I think she went for like $12 million, so that's just under Derek Hale's price of $15 million. And then there was Noshko, which is Kira's mom, and Noshko was on this one, right? Yeah, Kira's mom was on this one. And also, at the very, very end, surprise! Yeah, Deputy Parrish was on there, and it actually was not really a surprise. If you paid any attention during Season 3 at all, you would know that Deputy Parrish being on the list was not a surprise at all. I mean, he's sitting there, and there was one scene, I think it was during the episode Insatiable, he's sitting there talking to Sheriff Stilinski, and they were just all like, so what made you come to Beacon Hills? And he's like, I don't know, I guess I felt drawn here. Stop! Sirens, red lights, flashing, everybody, red alert. He is supernatural. You all saw it. You all knew it. Y'all saw that? I mean, it was pretty obvious, because, I mean, he used the same phrasing, almost, that Deaton used, and he's like, oh, the Nimodon's gonna draw supernatural creatures here. And then he's just like, oh, I felt drawn here. So, most people knew that he was a supernatural creature already, but I think that it was nice to have that kind of confirmation in the form of that hit list, him being on that hit list. Yeah, that was nice. But the only thing now is just trying to find out what in the world he is. And I also don't think he knows. I do not think he's aware of what he is. Simply because of the way he's acting. Either that or he could just be evil and trying to kill us all. But, you know, I don't know. I really hope he's not evil, though. That wouldn't be as fun. But who knows? I guess we're just gonna have to wait on things. Because life. And anyway, guys, even though this episode didn't have a lot going on, it still somehow managed to have a lot going on. And one thing I almost forgot to mention, too, was at the very, very end, with Chris Argent, and I don't know who the heck that Mexican lady is. I forget her name. Araya. She showed up, and then she delivered this really funny line. She's like, where we come from, we just call this a standoff. I'm like, I see what you did there. I saw that. She forces Argent to say the code, the we hunt those who hunt us. And what's interesting to me, that I found this really interesting, that a lot of people seem to believe that Argent has gone back to the dark side after saying that. I don't believe that at all. I mean, I have faith in the way that Teen Wolf and Jeff Davis sets up these characters, that they're a lot more complicated than that. I know it would have been really satisfying if he said their new code, the one that Allison came up with, the we protect those who can't protect themselves, but I don't think that would have been a good idea in that situation, and I know Chris Argent is too smart to think that that would have been a good idea in that situation. The fact that he said the old code was completely due to the fact that he needed Araya to get off of his case. And if he said the old code, then, you know, she wouldn't shoot him point blank right then and there, or have her big meat soldier do it, whatever. But I thought that the facial expression he had on his face when he said it seemed like he was talking about her. I could be wrong, but maybe it could be seen as Araya is hunting the pack, which he's developed a bond with now, obviously. And so she's the one who's hunting now. So him saying we hunt those who hunt us seems like it's personal between him and her. He's going to take her down. But I could be wrong, but I know for a fact, guys, that he's not going to the dark side, or what in the world else people think is going to go on. That's not going to happen. I don't see it happening at all. Chris Argent has gone through too much character development in the past 4 seasons to just sway back into his old ways now. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm just going to stick with he said it to appease her, or maybe as a subtle, you know, I'm going to kill you later on type of thing. But yeah, I am interested to see what it is that he's going to do with Kate when he runs into her, though, because I don't know. He may kill her, he may not. We'll never know. I mean, we'll never know. We'll know eventually, but now is not the time. So, commenting time. What do you guys think is going to be going on in the next episode? What do you think Chris Argent is going to do with Kate? When, how, or do you think that Derek is going to get his powers back? What's going to go on with Liam? And what the heck is Deputy Jordan Parrish? Leave it in the comments below, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, love, chicken grease. Later.